Excellencies, distinguished delegates, esteemed colleagues. In 10 days, as a new school year begins, 7th grade girls across Afghanistan will again stand outside locked school gates, denied their basic rights to education simply because they are girls. For 4 long years, Afghan girls and women have waited, hoping that the world will act. Their only demand, the right to live with dignity and agency. Yet, they have been systematically excluded from public life, barred from employment, denied education, and subjected to a system meeting a definition of gender apartheid, a crime that must be addressed with the full force of international laws. Afghanistan also faces a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. Recent aid cuts by major donors like USAID left millions of Afghans, particularly women and children, facing imminent starvation. The international community must urgently intervene, providing principled humanitarian assistance exclusively through independent grassroots and civil society organizations, not the Taliban authorities. Any state or institution channeling resources through the Taliban is complicit in their crimes. The world cannot ignore one of the gravest cases of gender persecution in modern history. The time for ineffective statements and resolution has passed. Now is the time for decisive actions. The international community must recognize gender apartheid as crime against humanity, fully integrating it into the draft Treaty on Crime Against Humanity. This recognition must be enforced through binding legal and diplomatic measures, ensuring accountability for perpetrators. A state must support this inclusion, ensuring no regime, now or ever, can institutionalize the subjugation of women without consequences. A state must also impose a strict, targeted sanction against Taliban leaders, freezing their assets, imposing travel bans, and cutting off economic political ties. The UN-led sanction enforcement mechanism must guarantee compliance. Any government legitimizing the Taliban directly aids crime against humanity, as man must face diplomatic and economic repercussion.
Thank you, Ms. Hanifi.
No, I have one more word to say.
Yes, please.
Afghan women must have legally binding mechanism to guarantee their direct and continuous participation in every political, legal, and humanitarian decisions. The decision-making tables regarding their country, that's legal and moral obligation. There are no victims. They are leaders to be heard. It's not a political debate. It is a moral and legal responsibility. Let history record that we chose justice, law over silence, enforcement over empty condemnation, and action over passive concerns. Until every Afghan girl walks freely into a classroom and every woman claims their rightful place in a society, our work is not done, neither is yours. Thank you very much.